Okay, short 3-minute countdown tonight. This is a pre-recorded show this evening of Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Callen with Cycle Source Magazine. Good to have you guys here. All of us are in Milwaukee for the big anniversary party Harley Davidson is throwing, but we got a killer show for you tonight. We're catching up with Pat Patterson of Sled, who just had his kickoff party for the brand new shop, brand new Sled, a new day for Dayton, Ohio's bad boy of motorcycling. And Mark went out there to hang out with him. A lot of old friends, a lot of good times, and we actually got to get some great video. We're going to back that up by bringing Pat on tonight. Not only talk about the open house, where Sled is going in this new day, and recap on everything that was the open house, but also we're going to talk Sturgis. Big things coming up with the Sporster Showdown, the dirt drags that they have out of Camp Zero. It's going to be a great show. In just about 2 minutes, we're going live with this one. So grab a drink, kick back, relax, get ready for America's first and favorite motorcycle entertainment show, Shop Talk. Hey, and just as we pass the 1 minute left mark, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We will be monitoring all the messages, so go ahead and put your questions, comments, and concerns up in the box, no matter where you're watching from, any of the 15 different social media channels that we're broadcasting this episode through, and we'll get to them throughout the show. Lots of great stuff, I'm sure, coming back from the homecoming in Milwaukee. We'll be bringing you guys all of that once we get back into town. But tonight is all about Sled, all about Dayton, Ohio, and the good times that were had up there. Lots of old friends, lots of history between our two companies. And with 20 seconds left, let's get this one out of the station and up onto the tracks and go live with this week's episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on Sunday. That means it's time for America's first and favorite motorcycle news and information show, Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Callen with Cycle Source Magazine, coming to you live 50 floors beneath the street level here in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio at Cycle Source headquarters. That was a lot of stuff to say all at once. I'm a little tired, actually. So I'm joined by my crew, as always. Mark, you seem so close, but yet we're so far away.
I know, isn't it great?
Bet you were hoping that I didn't come in tonight.
Well, it was a thought that kind of,
So we are playing this.
Hey!
What?
You didn't even let me say hello.
Nah,
What the hell?
We ain't got time for that crap.
Like, seriously? You just go right to Mark, skip right over the person in the middle? Come on now.
Well, that's what the person in the middle is for, to skip over.
Right.
If
Hello.
not, you wouldn't have somebody in the middle.
Loser.
Say your hellos.
I already did, loser.
Can we get on with the show now?
Fine.
All right, so this is a pre-recorded show because we're at the Harley Homecoming and hopefully having a great time. We're getting some motorcycles to test ride for you guys. We're riding in with Adam Sandoval on his final leg. That's going to be dope.
That's pretty exciting.
But you, dude, the story is you. You actually went on assignment. I can hardly even believe it. By yourself. Our little guys all grown up.
I really didn't go by myself. I mean, I
No.
went by myself, but I didn't go by myself.
You went without adult supervision.
Did you have your imaginary friends with you?
Well, no, I had two of my worst cohorts on the planet that always get in trouble with me flipping Duke.
Oh, jeepers.
So that's like the three amigos in a bad restaurant.
Oh, dude, I
It was
can't
fun.
even imagine.
It was fun.
And none of you got arrested.
No, we were actually super calm. It's just pretty much telling everybody we're getting old.
I was just going to say, it's just because you're older now.
Yep.
I can't even imagine, though. There's no lead sled party that ever goes on that there's not antics.
I almost feel like Pat's like the only one that kind of hasn't completely grown up yet.
Oh, no,
dude,
there's
that'll-
plenty.
That'll never happen.
There's plenty of people all around him that haven't grown up.
Oh, no, I mean of your little
Oh,
menagerie.
Menagerie.
Well, I think maybe if it wasn't for such a, set in stone situation, annex would have happened, because annex always happened when me and Pat are in the same room together for some reason.
Okay, so that's coming up later in the show, but we're going to start this thing off as we do normally with little segment we like to call what?
The news.
There you go.
The Shop Talk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers.
Okay, first up in the news tonight, and this comes in from MCN. Hold on. Pillion speed record broken by Milliard and Cole.
That's
They
all.
went 183.5 miles per hour.
They
to,
went entirely too far is what happened right there. Like, that's
Mutant Ninja Turtle.
okay.
shit right
So
there.
Oh, come on.
TV favorites Henry Cole and Alan Milliard have set a new speed record for two-up riding, reaching 183.5 miles an hour aboard Milliard's own 8,000cc Viper
Wait.
V10
Is that
naked bike.
8,000 cc's?
That's what he said. Holy crap.
What I
really?
see, if you read that too fast, what you got is two guys went really fast on a naked bike.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Well,
Thank God they put a
and
picture
look
in
at-
there.
Like go up to the first picture. Like look at him
He's-
holding on.
yeah,
He's got his head down. He's
Oh, yeah.
like,
He's in them.
That's right. Literally. He's in him, Johnny.
I'm on a homemade bike that weighs 600 kilograms with no fairing, Milliard told MCN, having ridden a 13-year-old machine on the day.
oh my god.
It's a ridiculous motorcycle, and
Is that
is.
like what? Okay.
Well, it's a Viper motor.
okay, so
Okay.
moving on. This in from the AMA. Motorcycle Hall of Fame class of 2023 announced 5 to be inducted on September 15th during the AMA's Hall of Fame Days event in Pickering, Ohio. Thousands of votes have been tallied. The AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame is proud to announce the 5 inductees to be honored during the 23 AMA Hall of Fame induction ceremony, September 15th in Pickering, Ohio. The AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame class of 2023 is Rita Coombs, Ryan Dungey, Barry Hawk, Grant Langston, and Travis Pastrana. Right on, man. That's a
right.
great class.
Yes, it is.
That's a great class. Outstanding. Outstanding.
Man, everyone on that list is totally deserving.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So you want to see more about that, head over to their website. If you've never been to one of these events, I can tell you first and foremost that it is a top-class event from start to finish. It's a memory as a motorcyclist you will not soon forget. Also in the news, in our last story for the day, Royal Enfield fans rejoice. A new 750cc lineup is coming soon.
Oh, boy.
To call Royal Enfield's 650cc lineup a success would be a gross understatement. After all, the Interceptor and Continental GT 650 are popular worldwide, backed up by their impressive global sales number, with the Super Meteor 650 walking the same path. But just like any other bike maker, RE wants more, and by more, the Indian Giant doesn't just mean more 650cc motorcycles, but also an entirely new 750cc lineup. Here's all you need to know about it. 750cc bobber. I'll stop at the bobber.
Yeah.
Royal Enfield Himalayan, yeah, so what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see this
You,
bike.
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
and you liked their Continental
Dude, I
GT.
really,
you
really did.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sharp. I like that.
Yeah, that's the
Exciting
first-
sound.
the
You need to
bobber's
wait a while
cool.
for the 750cc RE. The company has debuted the 750 bobber in 25. So that's kind of
Wah,
fake
wah.
news.
Yeah,
fake
I'm a
news,
little upset
man.
about that. Real nice.
I'm very curious to see what their price point comes in at, though? Because I mean, we know that their Continental GTs are, you know, extremely affordable and actually.
And I was surprised, like
Entry.
I said, you know, time and time again with my, at the time, big ass on it, because I was just south of 300 pounds when I was test riding that bike. I was at like 280, and it had no problem getting down with me on it.
Yeah, you were very impressed with it. So.
Hey,
Very
we're going to
cool.
take a quick break here and check out a cool feature bike. On the other side, we have our guest coming in tonight talking about lead sleds from Dayton, Ohio, Mr. Pat Patterson. But let's check out this bike first. Don't go anywhere. You, my friend, are watching Shop Talk.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
I'm James Patience from Ground Zero Customs in Idaho Falls.
I'm Jack's Patience and James Patience in the back.
Well, this is our first swing at building the chopper. This is an RKB. Rick Bray had a chassis that they were going to do a charity deal with. Something fell through. It was sitting in the corner of their shop, and he wanted it to have a good purpose somewhere. So it's just been sitting until they found the right place. We started talking when the Chopper Friends Throwdown came around that we were going to build a bike to put into the Bikers Against Bullies USA program that Flash runs. We put a lot of baggers in and out of there, but they don't have anything like this. So we decided this was the place to build this bike for. So Bikers Against Bullies USA uses motorcycles to go into schools, and they run a program, and they use it to empower kids and teach them cool things and get them distracted from things and the harder things in life. So we wanted to have something cool to put into that program. That's the reason we built this motorcycle, and Rick thought it was a great place to put this chassis. So the motor was not what we were intending. We wanted to do an old shovel, 4-speed, do something cool like everybody else is doing. But because we were doing the anti-bullying, anti-suicide thing, I figured the best thing for us to use, a couple years ago, I lost my closest friend of 25 years to suicide. And out of all the suicides that I've been affected with, this one definitely hit me the hardest. And when he passed, I took his chopper, and his father gave me an old shovel, and I just put him in the corner of my shop and said, I'm gonna do something with him someday. And now we have this beautiful chassis from Rick that needs a purpose. We have a bike that needs to go in a program, and I have a powertrain out of my friend's bike. It just seemed to make sense. It's a 127 cubic inch Evo with a 6-speed, so it should work pretty good.
I've been in the shop since I was really little, since I was 3, and I've been getting more involved as I've been going on. I've been going, I have some of my own projects I do now. I got my first custom motorcycle when I was 5, and I just enjoy hanging out with my dad, and it's one of the best things for us to do, because a lot of the time you see the generations, they split, and it's a very big difference. Me and my dad, we probably have one of the strongest bonds you can get between a father and a son. I'm welding, I'm doing fabrication, I'm airbrushing, painting, and
He's been doing body prep and stuff like that since, like I said, like he was 3. He's been out in the shop by my side a lot. My other son's out in the shop with us a lot, and he's going to grow into that. When Jackson was born, I had a Harley Davidson, my first Harley Davidson I still owned. We were going to get rid of it. My wife said, no, let's give it to Jax. And so that's where that happened. But when he was 5, he was like, Dad, I know it sounds weird from a 5-year-old, but he was like, I really want like gold sparkly paint, and I want fish pipes, which is what he called them. And he wanted white grips and ape hangers, and he wanted, at that time, he said he wanted baskets on it, but that's what bags were so we turned his Softail into a little Vicla style flaked out bagger, and he still got it. And
not just yet, but I gotta sit and look and hope for the future.
When you get involved in something like this, it's different than everything else. You know, the stress is usually really overwhelming, and deadlines and trying to do things everybody else's way, and this wasn't like that at all. I mean, you're getting these texts at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can't sleep, and you're so excited. You're like, I know it's Chris, and I know he's painting, and I shouldn't care, but I'm gonna look. And that's what we do. And you get so excited, and you see, I've built a lot of motorcycles. I mean, in the realm of these guys, I haven't built a lot of motorcycles, but I've built 50 or 60 motorcycles. And some of these guys have built hundreds. And so it's hard to stay excited about doing the same thing over and over and over. And this was such a different project for us. It was, you know, from planning to picking out things and trying to not break chopper rules. I don't know what chopper rules are, you know, like we don't want front brakes, but I want to have a handbrake so I can roll it in and out of a trailer. I want to have a secondary brake system, so we've got a brake that runs by handbrake. We got the other brake that runs by foot brake, so we got 2 calipers on the rear, and you know, there's all these things that we're used to doing, and we ride a lot. I mean, we ride thousands and thousands and thousands of miles a year, so we wanted to build a rider. So, you know, we just lots of nights just picking stuff out and doing stuff. And the color, actually, a lady named Tammy Miller from Orion Automotive Finishes, we kind of messaged her and said, hey, I want something beautiful and classic, and she said, I got you. So so she created it for us, named it after us, and so this is it. We had a lot of time. We had a year. Everybody had the same amount of time. It didn't have that much time when we really look at it, but so the nicest part was that I spent most of the year just doing family stuff away from the motorcycle, and I didn't put any stress of doing the bike on myself. And then the last couple weeks were pretty rough, but then we were in the shop every night just hanging out and talking and eating candy bars and just hanging out, and that's more important really than anything. The time we got to spend together is really great. We do a lot together, but it's nice when you're doing something that neither one of you've ever done before. So. I'm James Patience from Ground Zero Customs, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. The race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
My name is Mike Rabideau at Magic Mike's Designs, and you're watching Grease and Gears TV.
See, I messed you up tonight, homework.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
No Big Randy. Got different station tags. No Big Randy.
So what are you trying to say? You don't like Big Randy?
Oh, I love Big Randy.
I love that particular clip of Big Randy.
Oh, dude, that night was fun.
But dude, seriously, well, you're not going to see this till later in the show. The cutest ones when I was putting the show together were Pat Patterson's son and daughter.
Oh yeah,
that's the best. You guys will see that a little bit later here. But Pat's coming up here real quick, so we got a lot to talk with him about. So the real story though is, you know, Pat, like a lot of the guys from our generation in this industry today, started out with very, very meager beginnings. You know, humble, tiny little shop. Added to it, you know, crazy situation. Like every time they would need a new space, it would be the back of a big rig trailer or something. They'd put a new piece of equipment. And that was how they were adding on to the shop. And you were there for a lot of that.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Clarence always used to say it wasn't amazing what you built in that shop. What was amazing is what you were able to do in there. Like there was no room. Yeah, it was cool to see him coming. I mean, we used to laugh a lot because you'd be on the phone and planes would be taking off from the Air Force Base and you'd have to tell them to hold on. And then people would be like, what the fuck? Like they thought you were lying to them sometimes. But it was awesome because it was so everybody was so tight. Everybody was worked together so well. It was and then, of course, there was always something going on, dude. We were always doing something wrong. So that was the fun of it, I think. Getting set up to go on trips and Christ, just making it from the shop to home, back to Pat's to home, it sometimes was a freaking vacation. So,
well, and a lot of us grew up together doing all of this craziness too.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, Pat's shop was a little tiny shop. We were a little tiny paper magazine. Ended up meeting through a common friend and Steve Peffer, and that was it.
Yeah,
shit hit the fan.
The story goes from there.
It's interesting that a lot of the guys that were around in your early Limp Nicky days aren't actually necessarily doing what they were then.
Yeah.
And Pat's one of the ones that was able to hang in there and go through all the ups and downs and capitalize on it and make something pretty cool out of a girl's bike.
Yeah, he definitely turned himself into the king of sportsters. I'd never say anything nice about him to his face. That's for damn sure. But the point is, you know, what he's done, he's mastered an area of this industry that like nobody would have ever thought he would have. And again, nobody could have done it the way he did. I mean, the presence that he brings to the table is what Sled is. I mean, as much as we all hate to admit it, because again, you don't ever say
you don't
something
say it
nice
to his
about him.
face.
Yeah, you don't say nothing
see,
nice
what
to
both of you don't know is waiting in the wings is Mr. Pat Patterson.
God.
Let's go get him on.
It was all a lie.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectral Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
Pat.
Hey, what's happening?
You didn't hear any of that, did you?
I heard everything, and I'm blushing over here.
It's only because the camera was on.
Yeah.
You don't blush. I've known you way too long.
No, so we're just.
I don't blush because it makes my beard look grayer.
We're sitting here talking about the amazing transformation of lead sleds into what it's become, what Mark got to see when he came out to the open house. And you've been working on this new place for quite a while now.
Yeah, I bought the property. I've probably had it for about 5 or 6 years, but about a good year and a half to maybe 2 years ago, I kind of just decided that it was the right move to move lead sled down here. It kind of, the idea came in my head, and it all fell together, and then I just went for it.
Yeah. Talk about so some of the stuff that we were talking about, like the spinning machine and the tractor trailer out back, and you know the shop, the old shop, the wet and cold, and you know a lot of the machinery in the basement, and the space was tight, and you still managed to gut that out. Is that part of, like, when I think about, you know, the American condition, and I never thought we would get to the point that we'd be so old that we talk about kids today, but is that kind of is that kind of determination something that we're losing?
Hold on, that was a lot of question right there. Which one you want?
There was only one question.
Wait a minute. Use small, short sentences. You're talking to Patterson.
I said, you're.
Are we going to discuss the world today?
You know,
talk about choppers.
The sad part about this is normally I'm the one that answers the questions people ask you, and now we're asking you the question. You're sort of screwed right now, Pat.
Pretend you're talking to Zoe.
I said your place was really shitty and it was tough to do. Do you think young guys coming up today have that same determination?
Oh yeah, I've met quite a few builders that are coming up, and dudes that have a lot of drive and determination, and they're here for the culture. It's not all bad. There's a lot of good out there still going on right now, and there's a lot of true chopper builders and hardcore there.
Yeah.
What is
it's kind of
what's one thing that you look back at and think to yourself, wow, I can't believe I made it through that? And don't say yesterday.
I was about to say the last, let's see, how long have I done lead sled now? Probably 22, 23 years. Yeah. So the last 20 years, it's just been a lot of work, more work than what I ever thought I would ever do, but I haven't worked a day in 20 years. Yeah. So that's pretty. I'm busy, but I never feel like I'm working.
Yeah, you could tell that shit to somebody else.
Yeah.
There's three of us right here to work for ourselves. We ain't buying that shit.
How much you love what you do. Yeah. There are days where you're like, why am I doing this?
Oh.
I don't care. Don't lie, Pat.
That's when I bikes a lot. Sometimes I'll be in a race. I'll be like, why do I do this? I should be like water or something right now. Not sweating to death racing this dirt bike, but no, as in work. I mean, I still enjoy everything I do. There's long days, and there's stressful days, but I still wouldn't trade it for anything.
When we were out there, me and Jeff Duke, and we took a walk down to the old shop and around it. And we're sort of just, I was obviously reflecting. We spent a lot of effing time there, man. We did a lot of stuff together there, but we were walking around checking stuff out, and Jeff was telling us stories about like that road is literally Patterson Road. I mean, you guys grew up there. I truly think that some of the crap that you sat back and watched your stepbrothers do literally turned you into who you are today. The racing cars, the dirt bikes, the motorcycles. Like, how much does it mean to you to have pretty much taken your whole life in that little tiny area and created what you actually created?
I don't know. It's still kind of surprising, I guess. My dad's a truck driver, so just my whole life of redneckism turned to lead sled.
Yeah.
And I just look at everything I do, and it's really weird because where I weld now is the barn that was built in 1878 across the street from my dad's house that I grew up in. So I can sit there and weld, look at the house I grew up in, and it's so weird to me that I travel and do so much, and I'm like, wow, I'm still right here across the street.
Right.
Dude, I get that.
Yeah, it's just home to me, and I love that road. I love that neighborhood, and I don't know.
Yeah, no matter how many places you ever go in the world, when you're pulling down the road, because we're lucky enough that I live in the same house that I came home from the hospital to as a baby. So when you come up that last turn onto your road, there's just something about that will forever be. Even if we would move away from here, it's still home. It'll always be home.
I think something really cool about all of this is that, coming up there to the open house, like, we had talked about before, that was like coming home to me. You and Jen made me feel super comfortable. I was there for a good while. Clarence and Betty, your dad, made me feel like I was part of the family. I spent a day, if not 2 days a week, going to dinner with them and hanging out. So coming back up there and seeing the progression from that little shop and the crap that we did down there and to the new shop, I'm a little bit jealous. I sort of can't wait to come up there and actually do some work once stuff settles down. But I get the feeling of that being home for you. I couldn't even imagine. I've never had that opportunity. So, but to come up there.
Well, what's interesting, as long as you've been around with us, it's like you have been to my old house where technically
the original
you could say that started in my half-car garage.
Yep.
I was that neighbor that would start work at 11 o'clock at night and pull my Craftsman air compressor out and plug it in outlet side, and I would shut the garage door because I didn't want to hear my air compressor. But I guess at that age of my life, well, maybe my neighbors want to hear my air compressor at 11 o'clock at night. So I would just crank clutch and start working on bikes and not really paying attention to what my neighbors were thinking, but they never said anything. So, but yeah, we went from there to the old shop, and quickly started outgrowing that space, tearing down walls, putting CNC equipment in. And then, like you said, when we got the spinning lathe, I had no place for it, and pretty much bought another semi-trailer, parked it out in the front of the shop, and just practically ran an extension cord out to it with 3 building or in the trailer, and we worked out there. I remember we started spinning fenders in the fall, so we went straight in the winter. So we had a salamander heater out there just huffing diesel fumes and spinning fenders.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but,
right.
I don't know, that might have done me some good. But yeah, so I remember when we moved into the new shop, I told all the guys, I'm like, hey, we're all gonna have to buy our own grinders and stuff now because we used to all just share the same grinder.
Yeah, you're all so close.
Yeah, and in the space in the old shop, we could just talk and hear each other.
Yeah.
The new shop was so like open. It took me about 6 months to I always felt like I was screaming at everybody because you had to like talk very loud for anybody to hear you. So I don't know, just some odd little things like that it took us getting used to. But now the new one's filled up, and now I need more space.
Yeah, exactly. No matter how much room you build yourself, you always need more. I said I can remember the day that you rented the lull, and we put we came back from going to get the first CNC machine, and remember we put it with that lull, tucked it all the way in the back of the garage. For days, Pat would go over, would mess with that thing. The first time that we got the turret to move, we were so excited we went to the villa and wrecked it that night. Like we and I got totally wasted.
You got there to get that lathe. I never even turned on a CNC before. I was like, I go get it. And so we throw a car trailer on the back of my dually. Well, when they load this thing, it's decent. It's pretty heavy. Well, they had to load it almost on the tongue because the fenders of the trailer, the forklift in. So it was sitting right on the tongue. So for 6 hours straight, we were riding like this the whole. It was insane. I felt like I was on a boat the whole time for 6 hours to get that thing home.
Yeah, it was a long drive.
Yeah, dude, we got the turret to move and just celebrated. It's yes, it worked.
Yeah, the crazy shit. I think if I can remember, whenever you moved the carport over to the new shop, you sent me a picture of I can't remember what was you were moving. I think the fork truck or something. And they're like, does this remind you of anything? And every day, boy, people must have looked out their windows on that road and thought, oh, shit, Pat's up to something again. What are those idiots doing now?
What's awesome is my oldest daughter lives next door now, and she laughs all the time. She's like, between you and Gramps, she's like, I never know what's going to be going on up the road. Because before I left Dad, I looked out, and he had a full-blown tree chained behind his truck, dragging it down the road to the back.
I was.
This is our neighborhood.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I was telling a story. I can't remember who was at the open house about the day we went to pick up that 54 Chevy, and we ended up convincing the guy at that place to sell the Cadillac to us. Remember? And we got it home. Yeah. We unloaded it out of the trailer, got it in your dad's garage, pulled it in Clarence's garage. Within 2 hours, we had it running. We got 3 flat tires before we got the end of your road. We were taking that son of a bitch for a ride, whether it killed us or not. That was so much fun. Now
we drove tires off that thing in the first mile.
Right? Exactly. Literally. Yeah. Yeah. And now seeing it sitting there, I think that's I think I want to come up there and make that thing run finally. Put it all together and make it go. What are you waiting for?
It's coming together slowly but surely. A little sanding here and a little sanding there. Come together in the end. Whenever the end is, I don't know.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right on. Well, Mark has some killer video from the open house that we're going to be playing here later on in the show. But it looked like a hell of a time. It really did.
We had really good bands, and man, it was really cool. We had so many friends that were there from the beginning of Lead Sled, and friends that I haven't seen in like literally some of them like 10 years. So it was, there was a lot of new people, and then just to see some of the old friends and sort of like a reunion. I mean, it was great. And, now we have the space upstairs to, really accommodate people and have a good time. So we'll probably start, trying to have some creative get-togethers and parties and stuff like that here in the future.
Well, let's talk about what's coming up, because all of us are scrambling like crazy to get ready for Sturgis, and Sturgis has really become a centerpiece for you guys too, with everything you do, Sporster Showdown over the years. How many years now for this event?
Oh wow, the Sporster Showdown. Let's see, 6 for sure.
Yeah, that sounds like right. That sounds like that's right.
Yeah, about 6. I'd have to really sit here and think.
Well, to that you'll fall asleep.
Did you think when you did the first Sporster Showdown, Pat, that you'd be doing them in Daytona and Sturgis and heading up to the Harley 120th? Like, did you think that was going to happen when you started this?
No, I really had no plan. Bill. Like, hey Pat, let's get a Sporster show going for you or with you, and I'm like, okay, that sounds like a great idea. And at first it was like, a Sporster fly, because it's Sporsters, which I love, but I'm like, they're, especially in Sturgis, a Sporter is not necessarily the bike of choice for road trips and to get out that far. That makes sense. But it's pretty exclusionary, and it took off, and it's just been a really good show. And Harley called and asked us to start doing them in Daytona, and doing another one in Deadwood, and we've done one at the Smoke Out. We're going to do another one this year, so it seems to be a really fun show that everybody's enjoying, so we'll just keep doing it.
Right on. Well, one of the things that you added into it was the drags, and boy, it seems like there's Steve Broyles getting down. Seemed like everybody had a blast with this. But look at the face on him, man. He was in tall cotton.
Steve's like the oldest 5-year-old I know.
Oh, I
he
swear
gets
to God.
so excited.
I
love it. Like, it's infectious. It's great. I hope I have a quarter as much energy as he does when I'm his age.
One of the highlights I feel like so far is you guys jumping on board and coming on with us and helping us start the Sporster drags. I'm really do them again this year. And last year was just kind of trying them out, seeing how they worked. But like you said, everybody had a blast doing it, and definitely super dusty, that's for sure.
Yeah, you need to have your sponsors cough up some bandanas for everybody.
Or a water truck. How about the property lends the water truck?
Making them up.
Bandanas are way cheaper than water.
I'd be afraid with Camp Zero. I gotta tell you the truth that they'd send the wrong truck.
Yeah, right.
It'd be a truck, and it would have liquid in it, and they'd spray it on the track.
No.
Yeah, I would. Mud pies for sure.
Yeah, right.
But this is another image that we got to talk about for a minute, because while this is not a Sportster, I got to spend some time in TMMR this year, And every time I'm around your brother, he's another one that, like, his enthusiasm is infectious, and like he's the original badass. And we were talking about this as he went up the hill at TMMR on this bike like it was nothing. He just rode that shit out of it. And we were talking about the fact that, like, this cat really was the original badass. Like, back in the days of the Limp Nicky lot, when we were all trying to figure stuff out and we started our little racetrack and stuff, and everything that we did, he did it better. Right. He did it cooler. He did it all on that bike. Like, just the original badass.
Dude, I was rolled around with that OG when he had his 91 Softail Custom with a freaking bandana as big as Jay Allen's with a ponytail.
Oh my God, I want that picture.
Yeah, we need pictures.
I want that picture.
Yeah. Oh, we can find it. I've seen it. And he wears like a freaking Brian Adams jean jacket too.
No.
Dude, he is gonna kill all of us.
Oh my God.
We should have a banner of that at Smokeout. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I like your brother.
Yeah, Jeff. One thing about Jeff is he'll ride the crap out of a bike.
Yeah.
And he knows, it's like you throw him on any thing, and he just kind of a natural at it. It just gets out there and goofs off and just makes it happen.
Yeah, I like it because you'll all be out there giving it your best shot, trying real hard, and he just whips on in, blows you away, and pulls out.
Yep.
Like, and just disappears.
Doesn't say anything to anybody.
Well,
just there you go.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of behind the scenes of when he climbed that hill down in Tennessee. Because he's like, man, I don't think I can make it up the hill in that pan. I said, bring me that pan. I said, I'll ride any motorcycle here up that hill. I'll go get the pan. Well, he came and got the pan. And we sat there for probably about 20 minutes, and then I finally think he was like, I got this. Yeah. And then he flew up the hill because he wasn't going to let me go up the hill on his pan.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Nope.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite people. When it came to the Smokeout last year, if it wasn't for Jeff, we couldn't have pulled off what we did.
You're not kidding. And he was one of the first people, too. When we first announced that we were doing that, he immediately called me up and was like, hey, man.
Yep, I'm in.
He said, I figure you're going to need some help down there. He said, I'm going to come down the week ahead of time with you guys and work on that. And we were just like, okay. We had no idea the amount of work.
And he rolled in and he was just like, okay, I got it.
Oh, yeah, dude. We spent the whole week together. And he, while we were at the open house, same thing. We already planned what the game plan is for going down, what we're going to do, and just love him to death, man. And like I said, talking about coming out to that party, like becoming a part of that family, like I said, with Clarence and to see Truck and Landis and, to see Hannah now with a baby and, you know what I mean? It was like super weird. It's almost like, it was like stepping back in time, but everybody's older now,
That's right. Pat's a grandpa.
Yeah.
No.
That's right. Pat is a grandpa.
You're what?
I'm going with Pappy.
You're going with Pappy?
Now you're Pappy Patterson.
Oh. So good.
That's with Pappy.
Yeah.
Well, Chris is Pap.
Yep.
Chris is Pap, and I don't think he'd trade that for anything in the world.
No way. Boy, I'll tell you what. When one of those little babies comes up to you and they look up at you with the big eyes, especially the little girl. Our little granddaughter, oh my God, she walk up to me with those big eyes and go, Pap. And I'm just like, okay, well, what do you need? My wallet? I got to kill somebody? Like, whatever it is.
Well, Elsie stopped over there today, and she's just getting to where she's focusing a little bit with her eyes. You can tell she's like seeing objects now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, like I was moving around a little bit, and she was following me around, so. I was telling her how much I'm going to make her laugh when she gets a little older here.
Well, it's a good time coming up. So this is Tuesday in Sturgis. The Sporster Showdown goes on at Camp Zero. You guys for sure don't want to miss that. When's the rest of your stuff happening in Sturgis?
That following Thursday is when we'll be doing the show out in Deadwood at the Outlaw Square with Harley.
Right on. Right on. And what's happening with you and Harley right now? You're heading to Milwaukee for for an event with them now?
120th. Just kind of hang out and participate in shows. I think Jeff Holt has an invite show up here. They asked me to bring a bike too. So we're going to come up here and just kind of hang out and try to stage dive with the Foo Fighters, I guess.
Nice.
Right on.
I never get to do nothing fun anymore.
You can. Oh, I was.
Wait a minute. You just got to.
But you can't.
You just got to go to the Lead Sled Open House.
You know, I got to say, people got to be really happy that I haven't been doing a lot of it. And I've been working so much because usually when they saw that lead sled van coming, they knew shit was about to storm right out. So we used to wreck it. We had a good time, and like I'd said, the stuff that we did together, Chris and you and me and Flip and all the guys from the Nicky lot, dude, we never stopped for a minute. I don't know how everybody put up with us.
They didn't have a choice.
Yeah, right. Well,
right on, man.
It was worth every minute of it. That's all I can say.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, buddy, you be safe on your trip. I appreciate you taking some time with us tonight to do this, and we'll see you up in Milwaukee for sure. Tell everybody that we said hey, and we'll be there as fast as we can. And congratulations on another milestone with the company that made Sportsters cool again.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, and I'll talk to you guys here soon.
We'll see you in Milwaukee,
All right,
Pat.
See you, Pat.
All right. Bye.
All right, man. Hey, you're watching Shop Talk. We're actually going to go right now and watch a video from the Lead Sled Open House. When we come back on the other side, we got lots more show. Lots more Shop Talk. Lots more Shop Talk. Stick around.
On Location is brought to you by Clockwork. It's your ride, you decide.
This is Mark from Grease and Gears TV. This past weekend, we got to go out to the Lead Sled Open House, the new shop in Dayton, Ohio. Was like going back home for me. Spent a lot of time there, worked with Pat. Was nice to see the new shop compared to the old shop, what they've done with it, where they've gone, where they've come from. Getting to spend time with Duke and Flip, with Pat and all the new people that we don't know. Getting to spend some time with old friends, old faces. Bruce, Donnie Luce, Kevin Kepi, Allie, even down to spending time with Truck and Landis, who the last time I'd spent time with Truck and Landis, they were babies. I was living at Pat's house at the time. Seeing the progression of Lead Sled from where they've come from, where they're at now, was remarkable compared to the old shop, the little tiny place we worked where you question how we did what we did. Everybody that knows us knows that me and Chris, Cycle Source Magazine and Lead Sled have a very long history together. So this is almost like watching a family member grow. Starting in a little garage attached to his house, moving to the first shop, which was pretty much two integral garages side by side, now into this big, 40 by 50 with a separate room for assembly, separate room for powder coating. But we're going to be bringing you a bunch of video. You're going to see some clips of the people, the new spinning video, which you're going to see here in a bit, some of the bands, the food, the fun, the trophy making with GT 5000. We got to sit down for a minute and interview Pat, get some of the history of Lead Sled itself in depth. But for now, let's take a look at what we saw at the open house.
All right, yeah, just getting ready for the open house tomorrow. We've been here for almost 2 years now. So they said we should have an open house. And I said, okay, that sounds.
Should I put hosted by GT 5000 on here?
Back up to 5,000 from 2.5?
It depends.
What day is it?
When the night starts, he's at 5,000. Next morning, he might be like maybe 1,200.
Yeah. If it rains, I start out at 2,800.
Yeah. What do you call them? The Appalachian biker games or something like that? No, Appalachian motorcycle enthusiast.
I'm Truck and I'm Pat's kid. I'm Landis and I'm Pat's daughter. Right now we're spray painting a hitch on our Uncle Jeff's camper.
Why'd you have to do it?
Because he couldn't figure it out. This rim is used for powder coating and sanding and spray painting. So here's the powder coating and the powder coating desk. And then over here is where we put the oven at. And we put like parts and kickstands and all that stuff in there. And then over here is the big oven for like, say, fenders and handlebars and stuff.
Appalachian motorcycle enthusiast competitions. You ever got a hole in it?
We almost both died.
I'm glad I wasn't here.
It was Bud Light, too.
It'd have been the first time something bad happened and I wasn't around to get blamed for it. I'd have probably got blamed anyways. I'm at Royal King getting water and somebody gets shot. Whatever. Chris gets hit with a potato, bam, my fault. Was my potato gun though.
That's a wrap on the Lead Sled Open House. Congratulations to Pat and the crew, and we'll be seeing you soon. It's Mark from Grease and Gears TV.
The only thing standing between you and the open road is some garage time with the right parts and accessories to make your motorcycle roar. And that's why riders everywhere choose DennisKirk.com, the one stop you need to get your Harley back on the road. Our knowledgeable tech staff will help you navigate our more than 185,000 parts, apparel, and accessories that are ready to ship today, with free shipping on all orders over $89. So tune up your ride and get ready for the next adventure. Ride more, wait less. Dennis Kirk.
I'm Truck Patterson. And I'm Landis Patterson. And you're watching Greasy Gears TV.
Whether riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape, there's a flow to the road you share. So go with it. Eyes open and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
The product spotlight is brought to you by Drag Specialties, the world's largest distributor of aftermarket accessories.
Today's product spotlight is on the Twin Peaks 10-inch chrome handlebars. You can almost call these a little mini ape. These bars, designed for today's traditional batwing fairings. They got the forward slope, the perfect wrist angle to not get fatigued while you're riding. Particularly, these will work with both the cable and the throttle by wire. They work with hydraulic clutches. You can also see that they're drilled for internal wiring, and pretty nice addition to your touring motorcycle. Check them out today at DennisKirk.com.
Lots of great stuff coming up in events with Sturgis right around the corner. But even before that, there's plenty to talk about, and we're going to do that right now with Heather doing the events. Ooh. The Shop Talk events calendar is brought to you by the Bikers Info app, the Everything Bikers app, all in one place, everything you need, and it's free.
Okay, first up this weekend, Cycle Source Magazine presents the custom bike show at Black Hawk Farms during the BRL Racer, Saturday, July 15th. We have 10 or 11 classes. No cost to show. $20 gets you into the races.
VIP parking. For being in the show.
That's worth it in and of itself.
That's a win-win.
Right.
Wasion.
You know, this is on my to-do list. I want to go to Wasion sometime.
Yeah, Wasion's badass, man.
When we have a big bag full of money, which...
Well, that's out.
Maybe a while. Also this weekend, where Chris and I will be Harley Davidson 120th homecoming. Oh, yeah! I have one mission that if I don't complete, we're not allowed to ever come home. I have to get Killer a Green Day shirt.
Oh, well, we'll see, as long as you have the time.
Also, this is a busy weekend, apparently. Chopper Show presented by Photocycle and Subalpine, July 15th, 6 p.m. in Turtle Creek, PA.
You know, here in our very own Z&M Harley Davidson.
Little backyard going on right there.
Yep. Fuel Cleveland, July 29th and 30th, 2 days this year. Super excited. Chris is going to have hooking and booking on site there. There's going to be a smoke out booth there. You can grab yourself a poster and maybe a t-shirt. A couple Cycle Source magazines will be there.
2 Cycle Source magazines. That's it. So get there quick.
Here comes Sturgis.
Sturgis, holy cow. I hope you got a minute because we got a lot going on.
Take a deep breath. Here we go.
Sunday, August 6th at the Iron Horse Saloon, the 17th annual Cycle Source Custom Bike Show. 30 classes or so. Best of show wins a Paco rolling chassis and a full feature in Cycle Source magazine.
30 classes, free to enter.
Monday, Vintage Motorcycle Day, again at the Iron Horse Saloon. Lunch provided for all AMCA card-carrying members. Preferred parking, and we're also going to have some old-time field games courtesy of Carl Olson and the Black Hawk chapter.
Talk me into it.
Carl, I'm sorry.
Was that a question?
Also on Monday, it's Full Throttle Saloon Old School Chopper Show, 17th annual. Go check them out. Poppy always does a phenomenal job putting that show together.
The giveaways there too, right?
Right.
Dude, it's just nonstop.
I think we're going to split our time a little bit that day.
Yeah, if you don't leave there with something, you weren't paying attention.
That's all I can make this so when I swipe, it goes.
They just start from the time the show kicks off. They start calling numbers and they give stuff away the entire day,
and then throw stuff. Like if you're standing there too long, Poppy puts stuff in your hand, makes you throw it off the stage. It's great.
Go ahead, Heather. Swipe.
Groovy.
Oh, that stole the wrong.
Oh my God!
Son of a biscuity and monkey.
What the hell? Run with it. What's the worst thing?
But it is hairball that night. Tuesday night, Cycle Source Industry Party and the Baker Burnout Drags. Heads up bracket racing. Somebody's gonna go home with a few extra bucks in their pocket. I already did that one.
Next.
Run
Wednesday,
to the line.
17th annual Run to the Line. Everybody that joins us that day will get a sack lunch pre-ride at the Iron Horse Saloon, and then we're going to ride out to Nemo Guest Ranch, where we'll all have a nice cold drink, share some laughs, and maybe an ice cream or two.
Ice cream, yep.
Well, if I eat the lunch and then don't go on the ride, is that okay? Am I good? We good?
You can just ride up for the ice cream.
No. Maybe you won't get lost this time.
Well, if somebody give me the right directions.
Go to the end, take a left. That's it. Thursday night, Black Hills Boogie and Chopper Show, poolside at the Steel Pony Campground. I think one of the most fun nights of the week.
Yeah. Costumes encouraged.
Mark Camel is coming as the Rhinestone Cowboy.
Oh, nice.
Dude, can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine him?
I've seen the start of it.
Oh, my
It's awesome.
God.
And especially on his tall, lanky frame.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so
Dude,
good.
could you imagine if we can get him in that and then Tim Stahl in the Elvis outfit?
Oh,
together
my
side by
God.
side? It'd be classic.
So, Heather, what are the prizes?
What are the prizes? The cash prize for best costume, men and women. And we've got a chopper show that's going to win a cool, super rad disco helmet and a little trophy rack that it's going to go on. But it's going to be a good time. Choppers only. Not true.
Dun, 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 dun.
Fake news. Sturgis Motorcycle Rodeo and Biker Olympics Friday, August 11th. Overall winner gets a Bitchin' Championship belt. First place in each competition will get a gold medal to take home with them. And I think some cash, $100 per event.
$100 per event.
So if you win them all, you're buying drinks for the day. But wait a minute, caviat. In the fine
I don't have
print,
a backwards gun
in
show.
the fine print, if you wreck our mini bike, you do not get paid. Just so you know, putting that out there.
We're sending you a repair bill.
Oh,
Say the dynamite line, Mark.
I can't.
Oh,
you can do it.
I can't do it.
dynamite.
Oh, wah, wah. Chop Machine Cycle presents the Good Times Motorcycle Show at Griffin Hines Farm, August 24th and August 24th through August 25th.
There you go.
6th.
There you go, little buddy.
Sorry.
Bitchin' time.
Bitchin' time. Check them out at goodtimesmotorcycleshow.com. August 25th and 26th, Realities Ride out in Fort Collins, Colorado. Phenomenal time to support the kids out in that part of the country. They do an outstanding job. It's also the world's largest poker run on top of a community-based rally. Labor Day weekend, August 31st through September 4th in Durango and Ignacio, Colorado. FourCornersMotorcycleRally.com. Go check that out. This is their 30th anniversary. Colonial Chapter National Swap Meet, September 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2023 at the Warren County Farmers Fairgrounds. You can get more information on that at the Antique Motorcycle Club website. I think it's amca.com. Maybe. Google it.
Get an amen?
Dude, how do you skip the smoke out? Are you kidding me right now?
Can I get an amen?
Smoke out September 7th through 10th, 2023 in Salisbury, North Carolina. Thanks to our good friends at Dennis Kirk, we get to put on this killer event for you. Live music all weekend, like 5 or 6 bike shows, something ridiculous like that. Mini bike races, dirt
this
drags.
year we're adding the FXR show.
Yes, the FXR gathering. Heroids Paint Show, Sporster Showdown, Custom Bike Show, mini bike races, bike games, World's Strongest Biker. We've thought of something else new, didn't we? What was it? I don't know. But you're just going to have to come to find out. Just be there. SmokeOutRally.com. Tickets are on sale.
Right now.
Get them while you can. Grundle Run, September 15th through 17th at grundlerun.com for more information there. It's a good time. We've covered a couple times in the magazine. NorCal Chopper Show, the first inaugural, or not even the first, the inaugural NorCal Chopper Show, September 16th, 2023 at the Waterloo Gun and Bocce Club. You can get more information on that at the Bocce?
Bet there's a bunch of like black Lincolns and Cadillacs outside that place.
NorCalChopperShow.com.
That's an unfato.
Hey, dude. Oh, wow, that's going to be here before you know it.
Right?
Hot damn. Jeepers, creepers. Willie's Tropical Tattoo Chopper Time, the greatest chopper show on earth, October 19th, 11 to 4. Get there early. 100% of the proceeds go to the Veteran Support Fund. So
Get
you
there
should
early,
be there,
stay
or
late.
you're a loser.
Get there early, stay late.
Loser.
Bid high, bid off. No, that's wrong.
Say the secret word, win $100. One more.
Oh, Sporster. This is out of order.
Yeah, what's going
I put it on. I
on?
put it on when we started the show. That's why. Sporster Showdown.
You know, while you're in Sturgis, of course.
While we're in Sturgis, Tuesday, August 8th, Camp Zero. We're going to be running some dirt drags there.
There's a flyer that we're missing here, too, for the Ives Brothers Walinda.
There's a couple flyers I'm missing.
Death-defying stunt jump.
Yeah, that's Thursday night. You don't want to go to that because you'll miss the Black Hills Road.
No, you do. That's going to be epic.
No, it is.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
How can we split?
We could disco on over to the Walindas.
Oh, we could.
We could change them from the flying Walindas to the amazing disco dancing Walindas.
Oh, there you go. Also on Tuesday, and I'm sorry I don't have a flyer for this, Little Evil Incorporated performance show at the Iron Horse Saloon. It's going to be a good time. They've been doing it for a few years. All proceeds go to
Sacred Mountain
Retreat. Sacred Mountain Retreat.
Wow, we're really losing her, Mark.
It's the thought that counted.
I had it, and then I went to say it. It went.
Oh, Lulabelle. All right, man. Well, listen. The hour is rolling on. We appreciate you guys being here with us tonight for this pre-recorded show while we're in Milwaukee for the Harley Homecoming. Next week, we'll be back to our regular antics at our regular time and our regular place here at the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, 50 floors beneath the street level, Cycle Source Magazine headquarters. Until then, thank you for letting us into your headspace. And next Sunday, 9 p.m., we'll be back live right here, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Enjoy the 120th, Felicia.
Oh, yeah. Let me try the right thing. We'd like to thank our sponsors for their continued support, and we hope you pay them a visit when you're in the market for great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycles, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectral Oil, No School Choppers, Motion Pro Tools.